Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Naughty Bits on BrickHouseRadioLive.com, the home of the Reverend Bob Levy, because he lives here for some reason, and Dave always says it, so I just figure that that's what we're supposed to say, you know. Today we're here with Jen Remauro.
Hello.
Comedienne. I hate comedienne.
No, comedienne.
Right? Isn't that dorky?
This is 1950.
No, I know, right? Women weren't allowed to be comedians in 1950. No. And we're here to talk. Well, she's here to talk about being a single parent, which was my idea. So I feel like I'm pinning this on you. No, she's totally this is her issue, and she's got a thing about it. But no, it was my idea.
I had my kid 7 years ago because I knew this day was going to come.
That's right. It was all your big plan. Yes, you can have your note.
I need my Bible.
And Aden is still here, but Jen's prettier. So say hi.
She's prettier?
Oh, God. Dear God.
Let's not get into a fight now.
Bring it, woman.
I have my love shirt on today. No fighting.
The love shirt. So, you were on Reverend Bob Levy's show the other day. You were talking about an experience that you recently had.
Oh, God.
That you, seemed to love talking about but hated it at the same time.
Yeah.
That involved dating.
Bad dating.
You had, you said that you were seeing this guy for a while before you finally decided to...
No, I knew him for years.
Okay.
I would say 8. I knew him. We had mutual best friends. So, and then we were, we kissed and went on a date or two. And then I decided that it was time to have the sex. Because it had been a while.
Yeah, and it seemed like a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Unlike me with hi, and then we're having the sex,
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Really?
But, no, you're proper compared to my level of
I wouldn't say that.
decision making.
I just don't have time.
Yeah. Time can, you can just say that you're proud. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm the highest moral code. But, so how did that go then?
It went horrible. It went absolutely horrible. I wound up leaving the house in my nightgown at 12:30.
My favorite...
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, see? I did.
Was the sex that bad?
No, it wasn't. My ex-husband's going to kill me. I swore to God I wouldn't talk about this anymore. We got into a huge fight and called me a whore, but then we made up. But I was like, seriously? I had sex in 4... I had 2 relationships. Yeah. 4 people, 12 years. I make one slip up. And that's what I get. That's what I get.
Well, tell us what was the initial... You had you were calling them warnings or...
Red flags.
Red flags.
I would call them red flags. Red flags. He's very anal retentive. That's the word, right?
Yeah,
that's it. I'm not. I'm crazy. So.
But he's now anal retentive to the point of disorder, to the point of where it's just not beyond what's acceptable.
He folded the condom and put it on the wrapper on the floor. That's how anal retentive he was. And when I threw it out, I was nice about it and threw it out. He's like, "Where did you put it?" I'm like, "In the garbage." He's like, "What garbage?" I'm like, "The kitchen." He's like, "Oh my God, what happens if someone comes over, like my mom?" I'm like, "And rummages through your trash?" Well, then your mom has issues too.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious? Are you serious? And then I was chewing gum when I was going to bed in his house, and he's like, "You still have gum in your mouth?" I was like, "Yep. Well, this date's over."
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So I left in my nightgown. He's like, "Be safe driving." I was like, "Yep."
Now I was saying in Bob's chat room, I totally commend you on that. Because I don't know if I would, I might have been like, well, I don't want to rock the boat. I'll just hang out until morning and blah, But you just fucking left, and I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
That you just left.
Stood up for all of us women.
Yes, you did. You took a stand.
I did. At 12:30 at night in a nightie, but I did.
So have you even gotten to the point in relationships yet where you screened them because you have a son,
Yeah, I've only had 2 relationships. I got divorced over 5 years ago, and I had one for 4 years directly after, and another one for 8 months, right? Literally 2 days after that with a friend. So, I mean, I probably should have screened them. Because they both seem to be a little off the wall, but I would never bring a guy home. I just bring him home. That's why I don't have sex.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
No, but with the friend, you were probably, he's a friend, so he probably knows your kid already and everything. That's the issue. I'm asking.
My ex-boyfriend did, but this one didn't. No.
Oh, okay.
He didn't know him. He knew of him and all this stuff, but Now he had never met him.
Yeah, because that's always like a thing when you have children, like deciding whether or not to let them get to know people and if that person is going to be around. And, you know, and every adult, when you're single, is a potential influence and could cause some sort of, not even damage, but possibly maybe an opinion that you might not want them to have for the rest of their lives because you let them hang out with your goofy friends. Not even people you're fucking, but just your silly, you know, comic friends or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, my oldest son wants to become a sovereign citizen, and I'm sure that has to do with some kind of...
A what?
He wants to be sovereign.
A sovereign citizen.
He wants to give up his rights as an American citizen, become sovereign. Whole other show.
Okay.
How old is he?
Oh, he's 20. He's going to be 25.
Okay.
And
I thought you were going to say like 8. I was
no.
like, what?
No, then he's a genius if he wants to become sovereign. But, like, my kids were raised around, like, a lot of artsy people, a lot of writers and comics and, you know, musicians. And so they have, like, a weird, you know, maybe aversion to normal society.
Yeah, no, but I think that's great.
And you kind of, like, think it's great. But then, like, if you were Hunter S. Thompson's mom, you know... Like, yeah, he's legendary, but he's also a legendary drug addict and drunk and shot himself. So, you know, it's a give and take, you know. Yes, I'd like you to be creative, but maybe not as creative as Hunter S. Thompson. I feel like we're leaving the deed out. Do you have any questions? You know nothing about being a single parent and dating.
I know everything about being a single parent and dating.
That's what my mom said you would say. My mom said that a deed is a know-it-all. And she said he knows absolutely nothing about that topic, but I bet he'll say that he knows everything about it.
Everything. There isn't a thing I don't know. No, I know jack shit. I don't want kids. I'm smarter than that.
Okay. So the gay man says he's smarter than both of us. Basically, that's what he just said. Yep.
I raised my fist.
So, what? Okay, and there was some talk of ice cream. That was the other part of the story that I really liked.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm going to make this so I don't get in trouble, but I'm going to get in trouble anyway. It doesn't matter. But
I can, like, totally block your ex from my whole life if you want. Like, I won't let him, you know, we won't let him see any of these posts. I'll show you how to block one person, and then he won't even know you were here.
Okay.
Just him.
That's cool. Now, he's being nice to me now. I told him, I was like, listen, please, one time, let me have sex, please. I swear to God, and it was bad sex.
I had to ask my exes if I could have sex.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's horrible.
How long have you been? What?
You have to ask your ex.
I don't have to ask him. I just don't want to hear his fucking mouth. It's like so, like, because he's good at really, you know, antagonizing me.
He's all
he's really good at it.
Ask your ex if you can have sex.
Oh Jesus!
That's
Here's
David
a peanut gallery.
Harris,
I don't even ask
husband.
my current girlfriends if I can have sex with them.
My husband said.
You're the exception.
I'm the only one he asked. That's why I'm first wife. My sister wives don't get a say. Next cigarette? Yeah. But okay, ice cream story.
Oh, so during sex, he asked, you know, he's like, I want you to climax first. I was like, I can't during sex. I can't do it. I'm one of those horrible people in life that are not gifted with that talent.
We should introduce you to Tallulah Solis. That's her name. Tallulah.
Oh, does she
Tallulah
teach you how to have an
Solis
orgasm?
teaches
Yes, she does.
She teaches women how to squirt.
I think, I have a
orgasm.
I think I'm broken. I think that my G-spot is tilted. I might want to have that checked out.
That was her biggest complaint, was that people come in and say exactly that. It's like you heard the show.
No.
She's like, no, women come in and say, I feel like I'm broken and I just think I don't have a G-spot.
Oh,
isn't that funny?
Oh, she teaches them how to find it, how to play with it, how to coddle it.
I want to meet her.
She lives in California.
Oh, I'll fly out there. But, no, well, you know, I said I can't do it during sex, and he's like, okay, you know, whatever. So he came, and that was it. And then he ended the sex. Sex was over. And I was like, hello, like anything? That I drove nothing. So then he gets up. I'm like, all right, you know what, forget it. He gets up and he looks in the refrigerator and he goes, I want ice cream. I'm like, oh, me too. He goes, all right, cool. He's like, there's a store a half a mile from here. I'm like, all right, let's take a ride. He goes, let's take a ride? I was like, you didn't want me to go get you ice cream. He's like, no. I was like, you were really going to send me to get you ice cream. If he would have asked me to get him ice cream, I would have got in my car and just, like, never came back, which is really what I did anyway at the end, but Just took another hour and a half for me to get there.
God damn it! Don't ask Jen to get ice cream.
Don't. Everyone's a big...
No ice cream.
No. Jenny Carvel, they're calling me. It's horrible.
As far as being a comic it's a different kind of career to have and have a kid and like it requires a lot of evenings out and stuff like that, and also like I was saying before, exposure to unusual circumstances. My kids grew up going to comedy shows, which are not always child friendly.
Oh yeah.
You know. And it also makes a lot of people uncomfortable that they're even there. It's very rare that it happens, but they're not little, you know. But how long have you been doing comedy?
I've been writing for probably 3 or 4 years, stand up over a year.
Yeah, I was writing for other people a long time before I actually started
writing.
doing
I was writing for comedy, radio shows, and stuff like that, and then I just went up one day and started doing it, and I never left.
I have to tell the chat room, I can't turn up my microphone without turning up everybody's, and then it will overmodulate. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Shut up.
But I love you. Thank you for listening. Anyway, Dave is here, but he's eating dinner, and I'm not going to bother him, and it's showing up okay on the thing. Not you, Jay Nothing, not you. I don't mean you. You just said that it was kind of low. But everybody else is like all caps yelling at me and shit. If I don't acknowledge you, it's because I'm trying to act like this is a professional show. But anyway, back to Jen. Jen and all things Jen.
As always.
So the other segment that we're doing today is going to be jealousy. And while you're here, I wanted to address professional jealousy, which I am constantly seething with, like all the time. I never really experienced jealousy until I started doing comedy, and again on Levy's show, which I guess it's the only time I ever really see you.
Yeah,
is when you're on his show.
We're eating with a parrot in his einer.
They were talking about